This is Brian, screenfiles.com and review. What I'm looking at today is 2021's Zone 414, directed by Andrew Baird. And if this movie has proven anything to me, it's that Guy Pearce, who plays a police officer named David Carmichael, is probably one of the best accent speakers in movies, which is to say, he mimics an American accent really well. Guy Pearce is British, though in this movie he plays a person who speaks with an American accent. And the thing is, with his accent you can detect traces of locality. It sounds vaguely Bostonian. The way certain words come out sound like as if they're from Boston, but overall it doesn't sound Bostonian, which is fascinating and sounds to my ear like he's playing with the character's accent. So that's kind of interesting. In any case, Zone 414 revolves around Divide Corporation, which manufactures androids. And the government has given Marlon Veidt, the creator of these androids, his own little plot of land, his own city, to populate with them. And he does what he will there. There's supposedly no crime in Zone 414, though Veidt's daughter is missing in the city. So he sends David Carmichael, Guy Pearce's character, into the city, his robot city, to find his daughter. Zone 414 is primarily a noir, a detective noir in fact, as Carmichael navigates the city, meeting all types of people in a search for Veidt's daughter. Though there's a problem with Zone 414, and that problem is that it's torn between two things. It's torn between being a relatively simple detective noir on one hand, and something more, something bigger, something grander on the other. And it never quite bridges the gap. The androids in Zone 414 are extremely advanced. They literally mimic humans. Though one is special, named Jane, in that she has the full range of emotions that people have, and no other robot has the qualities of Jane. Though, as I was saying, this movie needed to be more visually remarkable, and unfortunately it isn't. The robots are the most advanced, and I should say only advanced thing in a movie. Cars look like regular cars. Buildings look like regular buildings. Nothing looks like it's advanced as far as the robots have. And that's not the way advances in technology typically work. In the sense that advances in one area advances other areas. For instance, if you advance robotics, you're likely going to have advances in cars. Why? Because self-driving technology. Everything is connected. Some things closer than others, but still that connection is there. The idea that you have these uber advanced robots while nothing else around them seems to have changed is just ludicrous. And it does this movie a disservice. This movie feels like it really badly wanted to be something, visually speaking, like Blade Runner or Netflix's Altered Carbon. It needed that visual punch. Though I get the feeling the director, probably for a lack of money primarily, but also chose to go this route because it emphasizes character more. It emphasizes the more noirish elements of the story more. Though it doesn't work, at least not by my reckoning, because I found the production design of this movie distracting. I really needed to see something wondrous, or at least an attempt at something wondrous, and something futuristic. Instead, we get just regular buildings. Even the city of the robots, which you would imagine would be visually breathtaking, isn't. Everything is seedy looking. No matter where you are, it's seedy looking. And that's just a bummer. Sure, it brings the detective story forward because you can't hide in production design if the production design is kind of mundane. But that being said, this story needed to be bigger. It needed to be Blade Runner-esque. It needed to be Altered Carbon-esque. And as I said, I can understand producers not going that route. After all, it would seem derivative. But conversely, what they've done is they've made a detective noir that feels like it should have been in a more advanced time, but never actually does it. It's almost a case of being caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, in that if they go this way, they're burned. If they go the other way, they're drowned. Either way, they lose. And that may be the case, but I honestly think this movie would have been better with a bigger budget and sets and production design that more mimicked a futuristic aesthetic. And sure, there'd be people who would compare it to things like, as I mentioned, Blade Runner and Altered Carbon. And those comparisons would even be justified. But the point being, it would have better benefited the movie. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. As usual, what do you think? This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com in review. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or a follow. Peace.